We are live. Hello, welcome to Failing Reading the News, episode number 146. In the chat, there's TC. Welcome, TC.
Hello, Clarice.
Hello.
Hello, how are y'all?
Not bad, just now.
All right.
Doing the same thing as every other day of driving the truck.
Yep. Good as you can get.
Hello, Javier. Hello, Tom. Wasn't really much going on in the news today, but I did manage to find just a lot of retarded articles.
Are we not going to address it? Are we not going to address the elephant in the room?
I'm not that bad, am I?
I will eventually. I've got the.
Okay.
I have the copy of it.
Okay. Just wondering.
Hey, Thunder, I need to talk to you after the stream.
All right.
I wonder if I should add that to the title or not, though, because I'm thinking viewers. I'm thinking viewing figures here. We'll see. Anyway. Portsmouth fan punches up. Police source in violent clashes with Southampton fans. Don't talk about me that way. Shocking video footage shows a man swinging at a police horse before riot officers wielding batons tackle him in the street amid violent clashes outside Fratton Park. Let's see, why did he punch the horse?
I only know of one reason to punch a horse, and I doubt it was happening to him because sometimes they will chomp down on your finger if you're not paying attention while you're feeding them, and you just have to like pop them in the jaw to get them to let go.
Maybe he just had a long face and felt a little hoarse.
I thought they call them were not as bad as they used to be. No, they're not. No, it's just, well, they're not. In the 70s and 80s, they were really bad, but now they're not so bad. A football fan appeared to punch a horse in the head before he was tackled by a riot police in the head with a baton. Shocking video emerged showing this when the man swinging at the animal as the police tried to control crowds during a violent clash between rival Portsmouth and Southampton fans. The Poppy supporter in a blue jumper, dark hat, dark trousers, and white trainers appears to hit the mounted horse before pointing and shouting at the police rider shortly after fans spilled out of Fratton Park. Police said a 52-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of animal cruelty and attempted criminal damage. A stunned onlooker who was filming in the scene said before laughing, "Yo, yo, yo, man swinging for a horse." Another man is overheard saying he's fucking beating a horse. On a swing at the horse, the Pompey supporter turns and runs down the road past fellow fans. The onlooker who is filming says, "The dog's coming for him, I'm getting out of the way, the horse is chasing him." Footage shows the police horse riding and chasing the man who sprints in the road, and a group of riot officers wielding batons. At least one of the officers is seen hitting the man. He's beating a horse low. Twisted mind this morning. Tom, when do you not have a twisted mind? Was his name Mongo? Probably.
Just me? I'm the only one who gets that joke?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Blazing Saddles.
At least one of the officers is seen hitting the man as he goes down on the floor and is sworn. The man is pinned down. The onlooker is filming says, "Oh no, he's caught the batons out, and they're whacking him." Oh, he's finished, is he? Jesus Christ. The Hampshire police spokesman said a 52-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of animal cruelty and attempted criminal damage. He remains in custody at this time. Shocking footage unfolded after this. Southampton's 4-0 win over Portsmouth in the third round of the Carabao Cup on Tuesday night. This is the first time the Carabao clubs has met since 2012. Glad to see someone got it. And the clip posted on social media where it went viral with hundreds of thousands of views. Earlier Rebel supporters clasped before kick-off video showing a police officer falling at the door as fans shoved each other. Coins, bottles, and smoke grenades were thrown. The violence occurred at Hampshire Constabulary conducted the largest ever policing operation. Riot officers, police dogs, helicopters, and drones were deployed to the game. Police force brought in officers from outside the county, including Kent and Thames Valley. Officers policing the derby were authorised to stop and search fans before and after the match. A dispersal order was in place for Southampton, Portsmouth, and part of Fareham until 2 a.m. on Wednesday. Officers were also granted power to force people to uncover their faces. And when the two sides met 7 years ago, 5 fans were arrested and 6 were removed from the stadium. That's what happens when rival teams meet. Anyway, I'm going to change my title, actually.
Okay.
This is just the vain hope just to actually get viewers in.
What are you going to change it to? What are you going to change it to?
Just add the Trump thing as part of the subtitle.
Failing at talking about Trump.
No, just keep the main title, just add the Trump to the subtitle.
Just title the stream Trump Sucks. You'll probably get a few viewers.
Yeah, and then find like a clip of like Trump sucking a lollipop or something. Hashtag Trump sucks. Right.
Oh. All right, give me a second. I got an idea.
Yeah, what's the idea? I tried to think.
Oh, just give me a minute. Trust me.
Okay, I'm gonna wait because I'm waiting for the viewers to come in. Yeah, no, I'm losing viewers right now.
Well, I'm going to.
Scotty, those were the wrong words out of his mouth. Trust me.
Yeah, I know. I'm worried. Anyway, this just gets me started with the transcript anyway. Honest man ban stream. Yes, this is honest man ban stream. President, congratulations on a great victory. We all watched. From the US, you did a terrific job. The way you came from behind somebody, he wasn't given much of a chance, and you ended up winning easily. It's a fantastic achievement. Congratulations. Put in Trump impeached. That'll bring them in. Yep, that's another idea. Yep. Impeach Trump. Yeah, the future is bright. The future is orange. Yes, indeed. Right. This may seem clickbaity and fucking dirty, but I don't care.
I wouldn't call Trump bride. I don't think he's as bad as the idiots are trying to make him, but still.
No. He shouldn't lose his job.
Well, from a report this morning on the transcript, the Justice Department said there was no crimes committed.
Yet they're trying to impeach him anyway.
That's Democrats.
They got.
I agree. I agree with Trump. They know they can't win this next year, so they're going to try to get him out of office.
Yeah, they can't win, so they're going to play dirty.
Yep.
That sounds about right. Anyway, back to the transcript so we can live up to our title.
All right, Scotty. So I'm gonna send you a picture. When I send you this picture, just screen share the picture and add the hashtag impeach, or Trump or impeach Trump.
I've already got impeach Trump as the picture.
Well, hold on. The thing is, you have to miss. It's going to be absolute clickbait, but misspell impeach with an N as in Nancy instead of M as in Michael. So it's Trump impeach.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to help anything, is it?
I don't know. It might.
Ooh, that just makes me want someone to take like the James and the Giant Peach poster for that movie and put Trump's face as James.
Look
He's in Peach.
Look at the Discord DMs.
I could add that to the thumbnail. That's an idea. This better work. I might get viewers of this.
Okay, that's amazing.
It couldn't hurt.
Hello, Ginge. And no, Trump is not amazing. He must be impeached. Actually, I disagree with it. See, there, racism. Yeah.
I wouldn't call him amazing.
There we go. That's the new thumbnail. This better work.
Couldn't hurt.
Yeah, you might start getting some Democrats in here for once. Exactly. See, you're becoming too much of it. Right.
Impeach Trump. Clickbait.
Exactly. You want a Trump in a peach? You got a peach?
Yeah, there you go. Trump's in a peach.
No, wait, no. Trump in Peach. It's a new sex scandal.
Yeah, right. Get back to the
Who's
fucking
peach? Who's peach, and how much does she have to get paid?
I don't know. Her husband's a plumber.
President Zelensky, you're absolutely right, Mr. President. We win big and we worked hard for this. We worked a lot. But I'd like to confess to you that I've had an opportunity to learn from you. We used quite a few of your skills and knowledge, and we were able to use it as an example for our elections. And yes, it is true. These were unique elections. We were in a unique situation that we were able to do. Achieve unique success. I'm able to tell you the first time you called me to congratulate me when I won my presidential election, and the second time you were calling me when my party won the parliamentary election. I think we should run more often so you can call me. I mean, more often. We should talk more over the phone more often. Yes, couldn't you just phone him more often then? Fuck porn stars and win wars without wars. Okay, Ginge, that's a bit weird. Trump, that's a very good idea. Trump laughing, that's a very good idea. I think your country is very happy about that. The Ukrainian president, well, yes. To tell you the truth, we are here to working hard because we wanted to drain the swamp here in our country. We brought in many, many new people. Not the old politicians, not the typical politicians, because we want to have a new formal, a new type of government. You were a great teacher for us in that. I was trying to say, did fucking Trump got involved in the Ukrainian election or something here?
Give it time; they'll probably find a way to say he was.
Well, it's very nice of you to say. I'll say that a lot that we do a lot for Ukraine. So say we do a lot for Ukraine. We spend a lot of effort and a lot of time with much more than European countries are doing. And they should be helping you more than they are. Germany almost does nothing for you. All they do is talk, and I think it does nothing for you. I think it's something you should really ask them about. When I was speaking to Angela Merkel, she talks Ukraine, but she doesn't do anything a lot. Trump started World War One, didn't you guys hear? Of course he did. He has somehow managed to harness the power of starting world wars when he wasn't even born. That's it. That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
I know people jokingly call him the God Emperor, and apparently the Democrats believe it.
But she doesn't do anything. A lot of European countries are the same. A lot of European countries are the same. Well, so I think it's something you want to look at. But the US has been very, very good to Ukraine. I wouldn't say it's proposal necessarily, but because things are happening that are not good. But the US has been very good to Ukraine. Yeah, you've been so good you have to mention it like 6 times. Ukrainian president, you are absolutely right. Not only 100%, but actually 1,000%. And I can tell you the following: I did talk to Angela Merkel, and I did meet with her. I also met and talked with Macron, and I told them that they are not doing quite as much as they need to be doing on the issues. With the sanctions, they are not enforcing sanctions. They're not working as much as they should for Ukraine. It turns out that even though logically the European Union should be our biggest partner, technically the US is a much bigger partner than the EU. I'm grateful to you for that because the US is doing quite a lot for Ukraine. Trump is gone. Just watch Tim Pill do this. No, actually, don't ruin the moment for me. I want more viewers, but clearly I'm not getting them right now. I've well, whatever today. It turns out. Where am I? Looks like I lost my voice now. I'm quite grateful to the biggest partner. The US is a much bigger partner than the EU. Quite grateful for you for that because the US is doing quite a lot for Ukraine, much more than the EU, especially when we are talking about sanctions against the Russian Federation. I'd like to thank you for your great support in the area of defence, and we are ready to continue to cooperate within it for the next steps. Specifically, we are almost ready to buy more javelins from the US for defence purposes. Buy more javelins. 10 likes isn't bad, I guess. President, I would like you to do us a favour, though, because our country has been through a lot. And Ukraine knows a lot about it. I would like you to find out what has happened with this whole situation with Ukraine. They say CrowdStrike, I guess you have one of your wealthy people, the servant, they say. Ukraine has it. There are a lot of things that went on. The whole situation. I think you're surrounding yourself with some of the same people. I would like to have the Attorney General call you or your people. Call you or your people. And I would like to have you to get to the bottom of it. I just saw yesterday the whole nonsense ended with a very poor performance and a man named Robert Miller. An incompetent performance. But they say a lot of people started with Ukraine. Whatever you can do is very important. You can do it if that's possible. He said Ukraine mentioned Biden, not Trump. Did they? And the Ukrainian president is very clear. Yes, it's very important for me. Everything that you just mentioned earlier, for me as a president, it's very important that we are open for any future cooperation and we are ready to open up a new page on cooperation in relations between the US and Ukraine. For that purpose, I've recalled our ambassador from the US and he'll be replaced by a very competent and very experienced ambassador. He will work on making sure that our two nations are getting closer. And I'd also like to hope to see having your trust and your confidence and have personal relations. Yeah, well, this conversation kind of does the whole fucking Russian thing, though, doesn't it? So
No.
far, I mean, it seems like they're getting along. This is whole Trump-Russia collusion, absolutely no good at all.
That's all this whole mess is. It's just that all over again.
But then how can they say this? But then where's the contradiction there, though? Because clearly he doesn't like. Clearly, the Ukrainian president doesn't like Russia. So it doesn't make sense. Stupid. Ricardo making sure that I would also like to see him having a trust and confidence and personal relations with you, so we can cooperate even more. So I will personally tell you that one of my assistants spoke with Mr. Foreign. Just recently, we are hoping to travel with Mr. Foreign will be able to travel to Ukraine, and we will meet again once he comes to Ukraine. I just wanted to assure you once again that you have nobody but friends around us. Hello, honey monster. I'll make sure that I'll surround myself with the best and most experienced people. I will fucking hell. I'll also tell you I wanted to tell you that we are friends. We are great. Friends, we are great. I was fucking pain in the arse to read. We're friends. We're great friends, and you, Mr. President, have friends in our country, so we can continue a strategic partnership. And I also plan to surround myself with great people. In addition to that investigation, I guarantee that as the president of Ukraine, that all the investigations will be done openly and candidly. That I can assure you. And Trump's return. Trump says, "Good, because I heard you had a prosecutor. He was very good, and he was shut down, and that's really unfair." A lot of people are talking about the way they shut your very good prosecutor down, and you had some very bad people involved. Mr. Foreign is a highly respected man. He was the mayor of New York City, a great mayor, and I would like him to call you, along with the Attorney General, Rudy. Very much knows what's happening. He's a great and capable guy. If you could speak to him, that would be great. The former ambassador from the US, the woman was bad news, and the people she was dealing with in the Ukraine were bad news. So I just want to tell you, I just want to let you know one thing. The other thing, there's a lot of people talk about Biden's son. That Biden stopped the prosecution. A lot of people want to find out about that. So whenever you can do, the Attorney General would be great. Biden went around bragging that he stopped the prosecution. So if you could look into that, it sounds horrible to me. I want to tell you about the prosecutor first of all. I understand I'm knowledgeable about the situation since we have one absolute majority in our parliament. The next prosecutor general will be 100% my person, my candidate, who will be approved by the parliament, and he will start as a new prosecutor in September. He or she will look into the situation specifically to the company that you mentioned in the issue. The issue of the investigation of the case is actually the issue of making sure to restore the honesty, to ensure the honesty. So we will take care of that, and we will work on the investigation of the case. On top of that, I would kindly ask you if you could have if you have any additional information that you can provide to us, it would be very helpful in our investigation. To make sure that we administer justice in the country with regards to the ambassador to the U.S. from Ukraine. As far as I can recall, her name was Ivanovich. It was great that you were the first one who told me that she was a bad ambassador, because I agree with you 100%. Her attitude towards me was far from the best. She admired the previous president, and she was on his side. She would not accept me as a president, as a new president, well enough. Obviously, because she was on the other side. That would make sense. Sounds like I can accept someone who's not on your side, is she? Oh, for fuck's sake, I've lost my place now. Fucking hell. How much is it, people? We have plenty of that. Where were we?
We was lost.
She's going to tell you through some things. I have. Mr. Foreign gave you a call, and I am also going to have Attorney General Barr call, and we will get to the bottom of it. I am sure you'll figure it out. I heard the prosecutor was treated very badly, and he was a very fair prosecutor. So good luck with everything. Your economy is going to get better and better, I predict. You have a lot of assets. It's a great country. I have many Ukrainian friends. They're incredible people. I would also like to tell you that I have quite a few Ukrainian friends that live in the United States. This is the Ukrainian president, by the way, just for context. I see. Last time I traveled to the United States, I stayed in New York, in Central Park, and I stayed at the Trump Tower. So far, it seems that this guy's trying to suck up Trump's arse.
Yeah, probably.
Like, does he have an ulterior motive behind this, or?
No, not that I know of.
Or is he just looking to enter trade relations with the U.S.? Is that? I would also like to thank you for your invitation to visit the U.S., specifically Washington, D.C. On the other hand, I want to ensure you that we'll be very serious about the case we worked on in the investigation. As to the economy, there is very much potential for our two countries and one of the issues that is very important for Ukraine is energy independence. I believe we can be very successful in cooperating on energy independence with the US. We are already working on cooperation. We are buying American oil, but I'm very hopeful for the future meeting. We will. Scottish show is your butthole. Mandy, I think you need to learn a spell. And also, £200 donation. You can have that. And hello, Cuban. And we will have much time, more opportunity to discuss these opportunities to get to know each other better. I would also like to thank you very much for your support. Trump, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will tell you, Rudy and Attorney General Barr, to call. Thank you. Whenever you like to come to the White House, just feel free to call. Give us a date, and we'll work that out. I look forward to seeing you. Zelensky, I hope you. Thank you very much. I'll be very happy to come. This is crazy. There are things can be explained by this. Be trying to finish jump. You have to finish jump. Yeah, so far I don't see how the hell they can even think about doing impeachment on this.
I don't think it's so much that they can. It's just they just want to and coming up with any excuse they can.
Like, really? Yeah, the real deal is Biden, because it's Biden that got the prosecutor. Like this is stupid.
He basically that's kind of what the whole what it's all about is him asking them to reopen the investigation to see how that all happened is, for the most part, it's undoing exactly what Biden was bragging about doing.
And welcome to the stream, Cuba.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
Hello.
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 Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I got
That's fine.
caught up on this news, and then Venezuela, and then your parliament, and then my mother's a little bit ill, so I went to go help her with some groceries and stuff. But
I
yes,
still want to find his birth certificate. Goddamn. Well, he was born in Hawaii. That's he was actually born in Hawaii. That's true. Sorry, Cuba.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Oh no, it's fine. Yes, I'm really glad you're going over the transcript though, because for me, and I think a lot of people were in so much doubt about, because it's a summary. It's not really exactly what happened from the last I heard on the news. And I know I'm just stepping in. So thank you for reading this. A lot of people are speculating very many things.
Yeah, he's Kenyan, apparently, according to Rich. Thank you very much. I'll pray it. Maybe Zelensky. Thank you very much. I'd be very happy if you could come and be happy to meet you personally and get to know you better. I'm looking forward to our meeting. I'd also like to invite you to come and visit Ukraine, to come to the city of Kiev, which is a beautiful city. We have a beautiful country.
Listen to that. He's finessing him.
Yeah, I feel like he's like sniffing his own. It seems like you go to America and sniff some farts for him if he could. Which would welcome you. On the other hand, I believe on September the 1st we'll be in Poland. I'll say so now. We can meet you in Poland. Hopefully, after that, it might be a very good idea for you to travel to Ukraine. You can take my plane or go to Ukraine, or we can take your plane, which is probably much better than mine.
Okay.
Even so far as to his play, he's definitely up this guy's off. He could have some. Like really? What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, we can work that out. I look forward to seeing you in Washington and maybe in Poland, because I think we're going to be there at that time. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Congratulations on a fantastic dog. You've done the whole world was watching, I'm sure. It was so much. It was.
What's really interesting?
Congratulations.
Not to interject too much. I do apologize for that, but this kind of reminds me, like, it just brings up North Korea and South Korea and how, I don't want to be like sucking, Trump's like cock or whatever, but like he had a lot to do with their negotiations and how they came to some sort of peaceful agreement. Now, I know Trump does have a lot of connections, like with Russia and the Kremlin, and Russia and Ukraine have also been in sort of this like territory war. Perhaps him talking to Ukraine and also having, Russia, this sort of weird hate-love relationship, maybe perhaps like he is looking for something similar in that region as well. And this isn't to like suck his cock or anything like that. It's just something that sounds very similar. Does that sound weird?
Yeah.
Just hearing you say "suck his cock" several times sounds weird.
I definitely didn't mean it like. This conversation is very weird to me though, and I'm very sorry to keep interjecting, but please continue.
What I don't get is I don't. Will he continue to do the fucking whole Russian thing after this though? When he clearly was friendly with someone who hates Russia.
It's not the fact that like he has any sort of like criminal ties to them or anything like that, but I think him and Putin are on a weird level together, if that makes any sense. I think they understand each other on a different level than other leaders perhaps would, perhaps because they are businessmen as well.
From when I've seen each other, from when I've seen them together, they always look a bit awkward together.
They do, but remember when Trump got elected, Putin had champagne brought to him on a golden platter, and he cheered him on national Russian television and said, "Congratulations, Mr. President." So it's a weird relationship that they have there. And I'm not implying anything at all. It's just there's a lot going on behind the scenes, I feel like. I just have weird feelings about that whole situation. So when you're reading the transcript out loud and then some people, obviously everybody's talking about it, it seems like a lot of things are insinuated through this conversation, almost as if they know they're being recorded. They can't really talk as much, but him sort of sucking up and like making sure like Trump knew, first of all, he stays at his hotels, Ukraine is so beautiful, perhaps when I come to DC, come to DC. And, uh, the real question is what is going on with Biden's son, and the fact that Biden's son does have a reputation. And I'm really sorry to say this because a lot of people do struggle with this, but he does have a reputation of being, drug addicted. He is dating his dead brother who died from cancer's wife. He has had a lot of implications with Ukraine. Why is he sitting on the Ukraine board of whatever when he doesn't speak the language? He has no background whatsoever with, oil and gas or anything of that situation. And Biden, meanwhile, while his son is sitting on this board, is vice president. They are clearly trying to project. They are clearly trying to shift the narrative. And I think what we will find, and this is the last thing I will say, because I don't want to take over your stream,
Fine.
they're going to pull out all stops, for this election. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be one crazy thing after another. And this is what I feel like.
Look for anything. I think that's what they're going to do.
Exactly. So
yeah, pumpkin sex tape, Trump and Q, pumpkin new sex tape, Trump, Cuban and Trump. Yeah, sorry. What's wrong with Russian? Biden said it. Trump repeats Trump made it with no evidence. It's on tape. CNN, yeah. But CNN didn't even play the fucking recording. That's the thing. That's why I want to know. If they did, then yeah.
At this point, I'm weary of all the networks, social media, and a lot of things. I'm really curious as to what the general public is thinking about all this without social media. Something was really brought to light about how many people statistically are actually on social media actively versus how many people are just regular schmegular. They have no idea and they're not as involved or obsessed as like some of us are, So I'm really curious. I'm curious as to see how this is all going to play.
I guess we won't find out until 2020.
No, I guess not.
And yes, CNN sucks.
But here's the funny part is within 6 hours of this whole Trump impeachment thing, he was able to raise like over $1 million. So, I mean,
his impeachment defense fund. I loved it. That was hilarious.
Correct. And Nancy Pelosi knew that this was going to happen, and that's why she was so hesitant to call on this. But when she's completely lost control as Speaker of the House, in my personal opinion. And when you have lost control and you have everybody else, wanting for something, apparently you have to give it to them. So if this is the way it is, I mean, I don't know how else to comment on it.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's nothing else to say. So you want other stuff, I guess. If I ever like serious news now.
Too bad you can't call for a vote to impeach or not impeach. Let the people decide.
I agree. Watching the
That's
UK.
kind of what elections are for, though, isn't it?
Yes, I was watching the UK Parliament actually for about 3 hours, and it got me really hyped up with a lot of things. I'm really actually, it's kind of funny how you guys can call a general election sort of at, if I may be mistaken, but almost at any point in time you guys can call it, and you guys have called for a general election like 3 times now. I was actually listening to your Attorney General, and he made a very passionate speech that I really got me hyped up. I had to leave the house actually. But anywho, it's weird. I'm thankful, Crappy, that we have like every 4 years elections and every 2 years elections, because we can't have a longevity of people in power. Unfortunately, I don't think
Well, the UK
humans
is
can
supposed to be
handle this.
it's supposed to be every 5 years, but it seems to be like these days just whenever they want one.
Exactly. I don't know how that would fare here in America whenever we went to just be like, okay, let's just, kick these guys out and whatever. But I
That just
think,
sums up UK law, though. That just sums up UK law in general. Though. It's like on paper it says one thing, but you can contradict it.
yeah, it's kind of strange. But this is the beauty about law. And this is the beauty about how it's written. It's written up to interpretation, and this is why we can debate it. And I'm thankful for that.
Mark Dice, Kevin Corner, TFN, Trump Fan Network, best debunkers. One thing I don't get though is how are they using that as a way to try and impeach him again? I don't see what was wrong with that one.
I don't know either. But what's really, really funny is that Hillary Clinton has come out in a statement saying that she completely supports the impeachment, which is such a ludicrous idea of her even coming out and saying this. She has ties to Ukraine. She has ties to smearing Trump through Ukraine agencies who had her server. Anybody that chooses to speak out about the Clintons, all of a sudden commits suicide. It's very, it's almost outrageous. It's outrageous to say the least.
Because she can't accept the fact she's lost twice.
I know. And that's wonderful. And I was reading a lot of people commenting today, like, I am so thankful that you wake up every morning knowing that you will never be president. And you know what? That is the best statement you can ever tell anybody, because she is as corrupt comes. And when people say that there has been numerous investigations into her and her husband, and nothing has come up, and of course nothing has come up because she's going to take all of DC with her, a majority of it.
Well, yeah, that's why no one speaks out against it, because they already know things.
Mm-hmm.
They get killed or they'll get accusations thrown at them.
Absolutely. They get 2 bullets to the back of their brain and they get called suicide. Let's all remember Seth Rich,
The reason she put out
I'm so sorry.
probably is because she's trying to rally her supporters. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm still here.
You got a phone call.
I don't think Crappy can hear us right now. I think he may have.
Oh,
You got a phone
no.
call. His phone disconnected.
American politicians wouldn't be able to handle the ways some of us do politics, especially question time in Parliament. Nail to the back of the head.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyway, I think
It's either 2 to the back of the head, or you get you hang yourself on a belt on a doorknob or something, or on like toilet paper. I don't know. Or you're missing.
Top bunk.
I'm sorry?
You do a backflip off the top bunk?
Yes, something similar to that. And actually, the person who you're speaking of who did the backflip over the bunk, it has just come out that the head of Victoria's Secret has been charged with child rape. Lex Wexner, or Wesner, or however you pronounce it. I mean, man, there's just so much stuff going on today.
Anyway, I think we've talked about that topic enough.
Yes, please. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Just give me content for the last 45 minutes. I'm good. The best show I've
Don't
done in
wait,
a while.
Dad. I'm busy.
Anyway, 11-year-old South Carolina boy drove 10,000 miles to live with a stranger he met on Snapchat, police say. I
Oh,
have several
Lord.
questions about this.
That's upsetting.
Where were the parents? And also,
Agreed.
why
200 miles away.
Why is an 11-year-old driving?
why did no one think this? Why did no one stop an 11-year-old from driving? Like, surely someone. 200 miles is quite a long way to drive with. 200 miles is quite a long way to drive without someone noticing that this kid's probably far too young to be driving a car.
Listen, somebody has had to have been teaching him at a younger age for him to be able to do this for 3 hours. Like, I know, like, my father taught me how to drive at a very young age. We used to practice all the time on like country roads, church parking lots, things like that. So somebody obviously taught him.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have drove 200 miles.
No, I don't think as an 11-year-old. I mean, this was the 90s though, so it's kind of different now. But I don't think I would have driven 200 miles. I don't think I would have been able to.
Yeah, an 11-year-old boy drove 200 miles across South Carolina to meet a stranger he only knew on Snapchat. The Charleston Police Department said after 3 hours of driving, the young boy spotted a police officer, pulled up to his vehicle next and said he was lost. According to the police, the child drove from the Midwest town of Simpsonville to Charleston. He told the officer early Monday morning he had taken his brother's car to go to Charleston, where he wanted to live with an unknown male he met on Snapchat. That's not terrifying at all. He Googled how to drive 200 miles.
So I got a question. And I'm sorry, Scotty.
What?
So we're having a problem with him driving 200 miles. Would there have been a problem if he walked 500?
I forgot.
Sorry.
Some memes should just die. There's some memes that should just die at a very, very painful death, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
He lost GPS signal on his father's tablet. He couldn't recover the man's address, the police said. A Snapchat message disappeared as they deleted, or deleted after they were read. The child was only able to give officers his name, his father's name, and his cell phone. He was reunited with his family in the later day. So they're not going to investigate. Police launched an investigation into the unknown male. I would love tonight, right now, anyone who's watching who is a parent of a child, especially an 11-year-old, to sit down with your 11-year-old right now, right in this moment, and have a conversation about what you're doing on social media, the dangers, the benefits, and the things the parent would need to talk about every day. Charleston Police Chief Luther T. Reynolds told CNN. Yeah, I feel like a bit dodgy, I don't know why fucking investigations would. Hopefully they do investigations in that guy, because I think it's kind of obvious what he was doing. More than obvious. Very disgusting individual.
That's really scary.
And I remember a story we did a week or two ago about the transgender who got pregnant. Transgender man who got pregnant. Well, there's actually an update on that story. Yeah. We're consistent. We do updates on our stories. We're like.
I like updates because some of these are outrageous.
Transgender man who had baby loses bid not to be called mother on birth certificate.
Okay, hang on. This is mental gymnastics right now. Transgender
baby. He transitioned to a man.
Not to be called. Okay. So she turned into a he and now wants to be called he on the birth certificate, but they won't let her. but it's really
because he gave birth.
Oh, okay, all right.
Is it just me, or are there more sickos in the world today, or is it just seem that way?
No,
Because of social media? I'm going to say because of social media.
I'm
They put it
going
in the open.
to 100% agree with you. It's social media.
But technically, violent crimes have things like that have actually been going down since the 70s consistently in most places, at least in the Western world, anyway.
I'm
social
going to
media
say,
makes things like this.
well, I mean, let's think about it. How many transgender men are there out there? You know, so this is a sensationalized story. This is a very minute, you know, set of,
All around the internet box.
but it's weird. It's
Yeah, he's weird.
It's weird because we're normalizing it. And I'm sorry to say that, and it's not against anybody else, but this is out of the norm. I mean, if we're gonna take feelings out of it, this is out of the norm, you know.
Freddie McConnell, a multimedia journalist who works for The Guardian, wants to be registered as a father or parent.
Check out that mustache, though. Please. I mean, she's doing a better job growing a mustache and a beard than a lot of men I know. I'm sorry.
A transgender man who has given birth does not want to be described as mother on the birth certificate has lost a high court fight. Freddie was born female and already transitioned to a man when he fell pregnant after using a sperm donor 2 years ago in 2017. Freddie McConnell, a multimedia journalist, wants to be registered as a parent, father or parent on his birth certificate. A judge ruled against him. A judge on Wednesday ruled against him after analysing an argument at a High Court trial in London. Sir Andrew McFarlane, president of the Family Division of the High Court, has heard how McConnell is a single parent who was born a woman but now lives as a man following surgery. He's like, that's going to fucking fuck your child up, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
You want like maybe finding out your mum is finding out your dad is actually your mum and you don't actually know who your dad is. Like, what the fuck?
A little bit, yes. But if we continue normalizing it in 10 years, it's not going to be that big of a shock to the child.
The child's gonna wonder in a few years. That child's gonna wonder when it starts like school and nursing and stuff. It's like, why do all the kids have mums and dads, but I have a dad?
Yeah, but you know, that's a lot of that core family stuff. Like a lot of the education is straying away from the core family stuff, and this is becoming normalized. So if this continues in 10 years, the child is not going to be shocked or anything like that, because I mean, if Mattel is coming out with gender neutral toys, you know, it's just strange. We're entering a strange time.
Yeah, may you live an interesting time.
Yes, I'm very sorry for that.
0.01%. Yeah, looks like the idiot from Modern Family. Daddy went out to get cigarettes and came back after a sex change. McConnell was biologically able to get pregnant and give birth, but legally became a man when the child was born. And the registrar told him the law required people to give birth to be registered as mothers. He took legal action against the General Registry Officer, which administers the registration of births and deaths in England and Wales. They'll be stretching on. So Andrew said the ruling. As I said in the ruling, there's different material. There's difference between gender and the status as a parent. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, whether he was registered as dad or mother or father on the birth certificate doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, you're still able to raise your kid. It's not as if they're taking the kid away from you. It doesn't really matter.
I don't think it should be oh my gosh, this is such a hard thing. I'll just
switch in their ears next. No, that's fine. Being a mother, well said here too. I would associate with being female as a status awarded to a person that undergoes physical and biological process of carrying a pregnancy and giving birth. All right, bye RVA, phones are coming. It is now medically legally possible for an individual whose gender is recognized in law as male to become pregnant and give birth to a child. Yeah.
Hey, Cuban. Imagine that teenage argument. You're not my real dad.
Right? You're not my dad. You're my mom.
I feel like this is going to have some problems growing up.
God bless. Yeah,
A lot of
probably.
different problems.
That schoolboy playground argument. Your dad's a pussy. Well, your dad's got a pussy.
Yeah,
So
this
what
gets
if that person's gender is male, the parental status, which derives from their biological role given birth, is that of the mother. So, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter much, does it, really? And whether he's a man or woman is not really that important. In the grand scheme of things, they haven't taken his kid away from him, so what?
Look, there's some people that I will use proper pronouns for. Absolutely. I think social media has a lot to do with perhaps confusing people. Perhaps if, a woman feels like she's like a tomboy, social media will maybe encourage her to be more trans. And that's why we're seeing a spike in that. And same with men,
Yeah, because I mean, there are plenty of tomboys that will act like that, but they'll be women still.
But exactly. I mean,
a lot of them eventually just grow out of it.
I will sort of say the same thing, although I never had gender dysphoria or anything like that. I was sort of a tomboy, and then, sophomore year in high school, suddenly I was very feminine. It's just something I grew out of. I still hung out with men and things like that, but like
I've known girls that when they were kids they used to play football with the boys and stuff, but then
exactly
as they grew older they sort of stopped doing that. Yeah, these things happen.
I think and then you go on these sensationalized like websites and you see like before and after SJW females, and like you look at these beautiful, I'm gonna say beautiful, girls, and suddenly their head is half shaved off, and they have piercings and tattoos on their face, and they're claiming all these things, and you almost have to wonder like what happened to you. And I don't want to like use the internet term, who hurt you, but it is sort of, I don't know. I would probably have to sit back and watch on a lot of this stuff to see how it goes down to actually like say anything about it, because I don't like playing armchair psych to anybody. So
yeah. Right. Hey, one of my female friends is drop dead gorgeous.
Difference between
She's so girly these days. Yes, growing up, she was the biggest tomboy I've ever met when we were growing up.
There ain't nothing wrong with being a tomboy. There ain't nothing wrong with being a tomboy. Look at Rose. I mean, if there's something that's wrong with the car, I'll work on the car. If my chainsaw's on the fritz, I'll walk up to her with the chainsaw in my hand and go, "Baby, it's broke," and she fixes the chainsaw.
And see, and I think it's absolutely important for women to learn how to do that, just as I think it's important for men to learn, as they used to say back in the day, home economics. I think men should be able to learn how to do their own laundry and cook and, iron their own clothes. I think that's important just as much as girls like working on engines and understanding how to change their own tire. And it's all about autonomy. I don't think it should be like limited to sexes at all.
Anyway, look, I'm just bothered about the age thing. That 18, the dog younger, leave the fuck alone. That title, yeah, that title. And the Green New Deal can help fight white supremacy.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Because that's the number one issue right now in globally is white fucking supremacy. Excuse my language. Teen vote. We've got you covered.
Yeah. You guys get the bottom of the barrel on here these days. Well, we've had an existential threat with Nazi Germany. Republican Ocasio-Cortez said that in 2018 event, we choose to mobilize our entire energy. We do the same thing in order to get 100% renewable energy. She was promoting a Green New Deal, but her war with analogy nearly fit into our current political situation. Leftists facing a two-front struggle. On the one side, capitalism is wrecking the planet. No, it's not. I mean, that's a whole debate we can get into at some point eventually. On a rising fascism, stoking people into a fever of racism and xenophobia. How do we face this? We stop pretending we start focusing on very, 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 very small percentage of the population and claim that
That would be one.
and just ignore them because they're pretty much irrelevant.
It's not that they're irrelevant. I mean, their voice counts too. It's just they cannot dictate what it's majority. And honestly, I'm going to stand by that. It's going to be a majority thing, and I'm very, very sorry, but that's not.
And the Green New Deal can help us fight both crises: global warming and white supremacy. The mass mobilization of the Democratic Socialists like Bernie Sanders call for demands of deep transformation that is cultural and economic. It can help the cycle of violence in poor communities of color, help end deaths of despair in poor white ones. It might even ease white anxiety about a multicultural future. The Green New Deal or a similar product has the potential to bring society together in order to face humanity's greatest enemy, a catastrophe of our own making. How will it bring people together if they can't travel anywhere? If anything, if they can't travel anywhere, then sure they're going to continue to stay in the places they are. Which means if anything, they're going to get more and more segregated because they can't communicate with each other. At least face to face, anyway. Hey, white people should start suing this shit. White to black is racist, and then it's racist for fuck's sake. 10 cities, boarded up homes, homeless families sleeping on the street, sleeping on church pews. Whose fault is that then? All these things, I wonder. Gang violence, within the 2013 opioid documentary. Examining studies from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention on inner city trauma, or in the UN's 2017 report on poverty, we'll see the destruction. We're smoking our cigarette. Somebody talking would help.
I'm finishing something. Give me a second.
I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
I was letting you read, but yeah, whose fault is this? And I don't want to keep pointing fingers because like I see a lot of people going out and cleaning up cities and not even pointing fingers and saying whatever the fuck you are, come out here and help us clean.
And James wants to make a Christmas tree. I don't know.
Yes.
Also, half of white America are afraid they're being left behind, in brackets, by capitalism. No, it's corporatism, actually. I've channeled their despair into drug misuse or rage. In 2017, researchers at Anne Case Amnesty can discover that since 1999, an increasing number of middle-aged white Americans have been dying from suicide.
Yes.
Opiates and alcoholism. They call them deaths of despair. Because the cause was not just the presence of drugs, but the absence of social connection. Many people living in small towns saw no future, no jobs, no way out. Friends died, family died. They were numb with fatalism. Well,
and this is exactly why they elected Trump. this is exactly why Trump was elected, because a lot of people saw no absolute future. They wanted somebody different, and not to politicize it or anything like that, but this is something that has really been occurring and nobody really is talking about it. The suicide. I saw my hometown like ravaged by opioids. And when people couldn't afford the opioids, and when, you know, the big pharma started cutting back because they were getting sued, they turned to heroin. So now we have a whole heroin community. And then that turned into fentanyl. You know, this is something that is near and dear to me because I did live in a small town and I did see, you know, people losing a lot of hope. How do we fix this, though? I didn't go to school for this. I don't know how to fix it. I don't want to blame anybody because I think, you know, we
And
can all.
then
How
here's
do
the
we?
thing. Here's the thing. How the fucking hell is the Green New Deal going to help with this? If anything, that's going to exacerbate the problem because
It's not. And you're exactly right about that. Why are they associating the Green New Deal with this? This has nothing to do with it. Absolutely not one thing. You know what has to do with it? Not being able to afford to live, you know, divorce, whatever these people go through has nothing to do with the environment or a Green New fucking Deal. Half these people probably don't even know what it is or even fucking care about it.
And what I don't get is that how is this even? How is it? They say they have no idea in a small town, and how the fucking hell is one of them getting planes and stuff going to help with that? It's going to exacerbate the problem.
Absolutely.
For others, instead of destroying themselves, their rage turned outward, and they vowed to destroy the liberal America. They believe have betrayed them. White supremacist violence made headlines in 2017. Unite the rally and 2019's El Paso mass shooting. They were just the tip of the iceberg. Next out. Beyond those acts of public violence, the FBI made arrests of roughly 100 domestic terror plots between October 2018, and late July 2019. Am I supposed to believe they're all white supremacists then, are?
You know what's really, really funny about them linking this to the Green New Deal is that if you read the you know, New Zealand shooter, the mass shooter in New Zealand, obviously we can't say his name. I mean, I'm not going to say his name, but in his manifesto, he was an eco-fascist. So where are these domestic terrorists coming from? Why is green eco and all this stuff being and it's linked to Antifa as well. A lot of these people are very like eco fanatics. It's like a cult. It really is like a cult.
Yeah, but look at the bias, right? It says roughly 100 domestic terror plots between October 2018 and late 2019, right? Notice they didn't say white supremacist terror plots. They just said terror plots.
Correct.
They did not actually, and if it was white supremacist terror plots, they would have mentioned it.
I am from Dayton, Ohio. The shooter from Dayton, Ohio shot in a spot where my friends were at. I never get on Facebook anymore, but I got on Facebook to make sure my friends were okay. Everybody in the media dropped his shit once they found out that not only was he liberal, Antifa, followed Antifa people, was Satanist, and then killed his sister and her boyfriend. Nobody talked about it. You know, and
don't forget Dayton was trans too.
well, yes, and Dayton, Ohio was also number one in heroin overdoses, I think in 2007, 2018. You know, it was like the overdose capital of America, which was really astonishing to me because I would think something like, you know, New York or Boston or, you know, Chicago. I mean, Chicago has its like rough end shootings. You know, nobody talks about the mass shootings in Chicago. You know, 8 people murdered, you know, from drive-bys. Nobody ever takes drive-bys into the statistics. Nobody. When you really break it down and when you really look at it, I'm really sorry, but white supremacy, this whole like eco-fascism that they're trying to do has nothing to do with what's going on here.
Meanwhile,
I'm
11
sorry.
million, 11 million Americans hold an alt-right worldview. Citation needed. Seeing themselves as the victims of the rising tide of people of color and the liberal elite who empower them. Where the fuck are they getting the 11 million white Americans holding an alt-right view from? Where, man? I need your citation on that one, Teen Vogue. Like, no, man, I'm not going to check that. The word scrotum is funny. It's because it's secret identity politics.
It is, but you know what? There is a sense of truth in this, because there are masses of people of color who do not hold political or economic power and do suffer even deeper. Nobody is addressing that because it is racist to call it out. It really is. Nobody is addressing. And it's not even people of color, too.
They can see the dependent upon them, that's why.
Correct. But it's not even people of color, too. Look at Appalachia, one of the worst, impoverished states, worst, dental care. It's not.
Appalachia is not a state, dear. Sorry.
I didn't mean a state.
Well,
you know what I meant, though.
I think it's mentioned in the article. We'll get to that.
Oh, I haven't read this. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, long-haired, funky, and Scotty are adorable. Please grow your hair back, you two. No. And yet the masses of people in color who do not hold political or economic power suffer even deeper. Generationally entrenched poverty, even with the secret decline in the poor from 39.5 million in 2017 to 38.1 million in 2019, the effect of legal segregation and real estate headlining led to neighborhoods of color becoming locked in cycles of violence and loss. Although gang violence has increased in recent years, gangs still spray streets with bullets, sometimes aiming at rival gangs and killing children in the way. Black Panther Huey Newton called this nihilistic rage. Turned in when reactionary suicide, depression, and poverty, hopelessness explodes in the faces of those who are already its victims. Whereas opioid addiction and alopecia, there you go, Cuban is mentioned. Cuban. Hello?
Uh-oh.
She gone, isn't she?
Maybe a plane.
She's still there. Yeah. When entrenched inner city poverty, isolating pain has destroyed lives, the social strain of failing at the American dream has left millions in despair. They don't vote or hope. They need a role in the new world. As renewable energy workers nailed down solar panels in West Virginia or manage wind turbines in Texas. They're at the future's edge, putting in place to harness the infinite power of nature's restless motion today. 3.2 million green energy workers follow the flow of wind and blasts of sunlight. They are not enough to cut the carbon in the atmosphere or avert the worst of global warming. People seem to like my long hair for some bizarre reason. And the Green New Deal is
It's very nice.
Yeah, but you would say that anywhere.
No. I would just not mention it if it was shitty.
Right. No, it was a pain in the arse to maintain.
Understandable.
The Green New Deal is solar panels and geothermal pumps, wind turbines, retrofitted buildings, tidal power, and burning biomass. It's rural and small towns and big cities shining with new technology put in place by a massive workforce. Wouldn't say they'd also restrict fucking plane travel and stuff as well?
Yes. They were actually weren't they at some point building a highway to Hawaii? Seriously? Or like a train or something?
If you're talking about the fabled bridge to nowhere, that was in Alaska, I think.
Not going to cause more fucking pollution, if anything.
No. I think it was Hawaii. I think recently the senator or congressman of Hawaii, she was very on board with stopping all plane travel, and the very an ignorant comment to say, because Hawaii relies on tourism, I believe, a lot. So then somebody said facetiously, I guess, like, let's just build a train to Hawaii. And she started nodding her head in this clip, and she was like, yes, let's do this. Let's do a train to Hawaii.
That sounds more economically. That sounds that sounds more damaging to the environment than planes. Like, way more.
Well,
The
to
building
build
and
it,
maintaining the thing.
to build it, right? And then to worry about hurricanes, tsunamis, et cetera, fault lines. And then the actual train.
That's where this train come from as well.
Right?
Because we would have these cars and stuff to get to the one train station to get to the.
They would have to go through California.
Didn't think this through.
No.
2014 report from the Political Economy Research Institute envisaged 2.7 million new jobs a year to cut carbon emissions by 40% in 20 years. Senator Bernie Sanders updated his blueprint in 2019 Green New Deal proposal, where the U.S. would transition to renewable energy in a decade. We can stop rushing this stuff. Just leave it to the market to find solutions in order to stop this. Yeah. In addition to mitigating great damage to the planet, a Green New Deal could save a nation from imploding if it included a form of affirmative action. Oh, here we go. The one based on race and class to avert the cycle of poverty. So basically, you want to fight white supremacy with racism, basically. Good one, lads. Let's fight racism with racism.
Absolutely. The American way. No, I'm just kidding.
That's fucking logical, isn't it? I actually went to bed last night. It was great. In the news all day and on social media. Yes, she was. The Green New Deal could give a future to people who currently have little hope. Now they earn, now they could earn a decent living. Now their lives would be connected to an important broader cause, the future of humanity. Last time Labour was mobilised on a mass scale was during World War II. The government educated nearly thrown together workforce to set aside differences in larger common good. It was made in films in the 40s, like Don't Be a Sucker, and The House I Live In with Frank Sinatra, and the warned against homegrown racism. Rose of the River and United, We Win. Of course, they were plastered on trains and buses to reinforce the new anti-racist social norm, but that was when racism was actually commonplace. So it made sense to have such things. I hope not Groundhog Day. She was all over. Yeah, she was.
She really was. She was like all over social media with that very emotional speech that she had.
Yeah, it wasn't pure by any stretch of the imagination. The U.S. still segregated troops. South still had Jim Crow. Women faced home and legitimized harassment and violence and glass ceilings, but it was the beginning of a national shift towards racial and gender integration, which you still claim doesn't exist. You still claim it exists. The 21st century Green New Deal would similar, in fact, much deeper commitment to a new labour integration. That's to follow, though, on the promise that the future has no place for everyone, especially including the country's most marginalised people. One route to such transformation was mapped in the social psychologist Henry Tadsfeld in his social identity theory. The theory argues that you must into materialism, white supremacy, and patriarchy. Meanwhile, we must send our labor, specifically working in the Green New Deal, working the green energy to save the planet. We must encourage the sense of collective mission.
Who's going to do the labor?
All the black people, by the looks of it.
I mean, I guess we're trying to be inclusive, right?
Let's see what it says there.
Pretty much. Decenter materialism. I do agree with that, but it's very hypocritical. White supremacy, not even really a problem at all. I don't see it as one, but I'm not. I mean, I'm not black. I don't look white. Sometimes I can pass. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I don't think that's a problem. I don't think patriarchy is a problem. I think patriarchy and white dudes are going to be doing the fucking labor.
Honestly, black dudes gonna be doing labor with this guy. These people are involved.
Last time I checked, there were like 73% of the working force. So I don't want to alienate 73% of a fucking working force.
Yeah, damn, every time I sleep, I miss out on big things happening. Cornfield's still a thing. No,
Yeah,
I think
clothes, of course they are.
I'm sorry?
Cotton fields are still a thing, but they're mechanically done. The big dirty secret about when it comes to slavery is the fact that slaves, as they were utilized, they were slowly on the way out anyway. Because, like it or not, even when it comes to innovation, it was cheaper for them to buy a machine and run the machine, namely the cotton gin.
Yes,
than it did to it cost them a lot less to use that machine than it did to hold a family of slaves.
Absolutely. And from what I've read in history and stuff like that, it wasn't even a monetary thing. They got paid in like chickens and whatever was left over. And then when slavery was no more and people had to work in the cotton fields for like money and things like that, it was still cheaper for it to be mechanical. I mean, if you look at the cotton industry, like you were saying, Pumpkin, it's huge. Like a lot of our obviously a lot of our clothes are made out of it. But the durability, and it makes me wonder about why hemp, why we can't make a lot more things out of hemp, because it lasts longer than things like that.
Yeah, because
that's another, exactly. But why is it illegal? That's another conspiracy with the whole cotton industry, but I would agree to the fact.
Jim Crow was a body of laws, but also a real person. So I don't remember that. Yes, he was. This article is just buzzwords. Yeah, it's just word salad, basically.
Yeah.
I forgot who. I heard this. The video argues that we must decenter materialism, white supremacy, and patriarchy. Meanwhile, we must send our labor, specifically working in green energy to save our planet. We must encourage a sense of a collective mission as people accomplish their Herculean task of healing a damaged earth. When I get this, all it seems to be is like we want a load of new renewable energies and stuff. We'll claim it's a green deal and we'll just get the blacks to do it because they seem to kill each other and they seem to be in poverty. We'll give them jobs for a while.
It's just that there's no correlation with anything that they're trying to link the Green New Deal to a lot of our societal problems, there's no correlation in any of that.
I think I've got their link. I know what they're trying to do here. What they're saying here, in effect, they're doing, we want a load of renewable energy and stuff, and we're going to claim that's part of the Green New Deal, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say because the blacks are all like they're all killing each other, they're all taking drugs and stuff, they're all dying younger. We're going to let them build all the renewable energy and stuff so they can have jobs. That's what it seems like.
Yeah. Build more jobs to get people out of whatever situation they're in. I would totally wholeheartedly agree with that.
No, I'm just saying that's how they link them together. Just saying we want a lot of renewable energy. What we're gonna do? We'll just get the black people to build it. There's an idea.
It's not even going to be. It's going to be also immigrants. It's going to be a lot of people who have to accept lower paying work, I guess.
Yeah, but they literally mentioned they wanted it based on race, so that's why I'm trying to like link the two. That's why I'm trying to link them all together to see what they're trying to say.
I see. Yeah, I see what you're trying to say now. I wouldn't even think that. Should I sacrifice my life? Wow.
China's the biggest player in the world. Last time I checked, they don't have many whites living there. Let me check my 17 magazine for my stock portfolio anyway. Like all Americans, my greatest desire is for a complete victory over the forces of evil. Or James D. Thompson to the black newspaper of the Pittsburgh coroner. Being an American of a dark complexion, these questions flash through my mind. Should I sacrifice my life to live half American? Thompson inspired the Double V campaign that stood for victory against fascism abroad and racism at home. The black soldiers wore their rights and have to struggle against the very nation whose uniform they wore to get them, but they didn't from scratch.
For my Americans on this stream, have you ever considered a person of color half fucking American? If they were truly an American citizen?
No, I never thought about it.
I do not think so. I do not think so at all. This is, I don't think a majority of America is freaking as racist as people make it out to be at all.
I think what he's meaning is like because he gets called African American a lot. I think that's what he's meaning. I guess.
You're still American. If you're gay and you're in America and you're an American citizen, you're still American. If you're Latino in America and you're an American citizen, you're still fucking American. It doesn't matter if you're dark complexioned. I'm sorry. Maybe really off topic rant, but Teen Vogue sucks. Teen Vogue, what are you doing, Teen Vogue? You're influencing teens. I'm glad you're asking the question.
Well, Teen Vogue, these are the ones that called Trump Hitler on day one. So
Vogue should stay with Vogue and stay with fashion. That's all I have to say.
They are. It's fashionable. I said it's fashionable to spread this shit.
Stick to fucking fashion.
Today, the Green New Deal needs a double victory campaign. We triumph against the capitalism killing the planet and rising fascism at home. Bullshit. Green New Deal could offer millions a chance to work and accomplish a common goal. People calling small towns a trailer park and public housing in the suburbs and the cities into a collective Earth front would give us a chance of when breathing space for our species. We could work to save what's left of our planet. I mean, what's left of the planet? I'm pretty sure the vast majority of the planet is still fucking there. And we can save ourselves.
The planet ain't going nowhere.
I thought climate change was irreversible. Was it reversible? According to these people, it's clearly not. Well, these people, it clearly is. Anyway, we've reached the end. It's chilling time.
Ah, crap. I was hoping you'd screen share the thing I just shared in the Discord messages.
I need to go to bed soon, man.
Haha, I was first. I beat you to it. Neener.
Well, I made my thing. It took me a second, and I had to figure out how to do it. But yeah, Tim, what's tomorrow? Thursday? So yeah, just Fallout for me.
All day.
Jump in the grass. Protect impeachment. I'll flash on screen for like this. There you go. Hey, you can still show, by the way.
Trucker.
Did you really feel great, or?
No point in showing for me. I've got absolutely nothing going on tomorrow. I will most likely not even be here or in Blind Girl stream tomorrow. So we've got major personal stuff. Hi, Green Thunder's mom.
Fair enough.
Yeah, major personal stuff tomorrow. So I will be in absolute absentia all day.
No worries. Anyone else? I think that's enough. So maybe I'll see you tomorrow. It depends how well I sleep tonight. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. You're all a bunch of cunts. Goodbye.
Piss off.
Bye.
Goodbye.